Now at this point, let's bring in Jean Encinas-Franco of the UP Political Science Department. Welcome to the Big Story, Professor.
Hi, good evening, sir. Good evening po din.
All right. Let's zero in first on the series of disclosures by Congressman Leviste, which is now which is being denied by the DPWH and even to a certain extent by the Office of the Ombudsman. What do we make of this maverick congressman who is now telling what it is in Congress, even to the point of disclosing Christmas bonuses?
Yeah, no. Well, of course, we welcome transparency, and accountability, especially during these times. It's just a pity that because of what has transpired, because of he said, she said process that has been going on the past few days, they have become the story rather than, the documents that they're supposed to present to the public. So that's the last thing that we want to happen, because no matter what, we want the truth to come out.
So you're saying it's become more personality-driven?
Yes, exactly. And because of the stories revolving around whether these are indeed genuine documents or not, whether these were redacted documents, then we don't want this to happen, given that we want documents that will give us the truth.
Right.
No? Yeah. We want all the investigations to be credible at the end of the day, so that whatever comes out in January, kung sino man ang makulong, kung sino man ang ma-aresto, dapat katanggap-tanggap.
But Professor, do you think that Congressman Leandro Leviste is actually onto something? And if yes, how should he handle it?
Well, if he is onto something, I guess, he should somehow calibrate or review what he's been doing, because some other sectors, some people are starting to question his credibility or his motive, regarding the document.
But actually, the situation now is the real source of the documents, or the DPWH, is not being candid either. It's really, the situation is very muddled. Do you?
Exactly. Yeah, muddled is the right word, and it's very unfortunate that this has happened. No, that's why the ombudsman and all the authorities must really expedite these cases, so that this is resolved in the soonest possible time. Kasi the more na magtagal, the more that other people will politicize this, no?
Who is emerging as a trustworthy source in this whole investigation? There doesn't seem to be anyone who enjoys trust,
exactly.
credibility.
Yeah, none.
So
from the very start, the ICI has been met with a lot of controversy, resignation. Yeah.
So where does the public go? There have been protests, but the protests also, and I'd like to ask you this, doesn't seem to have any real demand. It's very broad. Should the public, or should these organized protests be more specific with what they want the government to do?
The protests have been very specific. They want the government to hold the people, those who are the perpetrators of the flood control corruption scandal, be put to jail. No, they've also
pero walang deadline,
such as the political dynasty. Sorry.
Walang time. The timeline is unclear. It's Tuloy, it seems like I feel, as an observer, that we're just coasting along, and there doesn't seem to be a favorable conclusion in the offing. Anong assessment po ninyo, Professor?
My sense is that the protesters are also waiting for what's going to happen. They thought that they believe that something's going to happen before Christmas, but it did not happen. So these are the holidays, so they're having a wait and see attitude. But I'm pretty sure that they have concrete plans up their sleeves in the coming week, no? And in fairness to them, they've been also very effective in terms of calling Malacanang to task, calling our senators to task, so that they would at least listen to the public pulse and to the demands of the public.
Well, Professor, if we may go to that recent Pulse Asia survey showing that nearly half of Filipinos disapprove of the performance of President Bongbong Marcos, while Vice President Sara Duterte still enjoys small majority approval. What do these numbers tell you, Professor, and how do they compare to previous administrations?
Well, you know, the buck stops at the president, and considering the gravity of the situation and the magnitude of what has happened in the past 4 months, I'm not surprised that these are his ratings, no? Because the country is waiting for his move. The country is waiting whether he will really put to jail people, some people who are close to him, no? Some people who have been implicated in the flood control scandal. So I'm not surprised. Now, with regard to Sara Duterte, well, of course, she has enjoyed high approval ratings from the get-go, and she also has Mindanao and a part of the Visayas who remain loyal to her, mainly also because of ethno-linguistic ties, no? The mga Visayan speaking and those from Mindanao.
But Professor, at the same time, controlling inflation is also the top concern for many Filipinos. It's also where the government gets its lowest approval rating. For President Bongbong Marcos, how damaging is that? That it's a gut issue still affecting the public, the Filipinos? And is there still any viable path for President Marcos to recover in terms of his numbers?
Yeah. That's a very good observation. And I think, because from the very start, the president campaigned on a gut issue. Remember the 20 peso
Bigas.
a kilo price of rice. And that's why people are holding him into account. No, well, there are kadiwa stores, but the distribution is really just limited. And people also want concrete results in terms of lowering of the prices of goods, as the survey said, and also the decent employment, of course.
So, Professor, when people say that their top concerns are inflation, corruption, and even job security, no, are they blaming here the president and not the system?
It's really the president, because that's where they turn to. That's to whom they turn to, no? And that's he's the one who promised them the moon and the stars during the campaign, you know? And he's the most visible government official of the land, and that's why they're blaming the president, and we can't blame them, no? For doing this.
Now, if we can move to the live streaming of the BICAM process in the budget, what's your assessment? Was there complete transparency about the process, or there's still much to be left?
Yeah. Because even if it was live streamed, there were also statements from prominent legislators indicating that they felt that the process was railroaded, the voting yesterday. So this is the last thing that we want to happen again, no? In the budget process. We want the budget process to be credible and not be seen as being rushed, no? So when you say transparency, it's hindi lang, ipalabas sa TV or sa YouTube, no?
Yeah.
Everything has to be recorded too, no? Lahat ng nag-intervene, lahat ng sinabi, I hope they recorded it, no? I hope there were no small meetings that happened. So we're not sure about that. I hope, walang ganun.
Well, observers say that's what happened, but there were really small meetings that were not recorded.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will have to see. It's still. But would you say that was a good first attempt?
Yeah. Maybe they're taking. I mean, of course, considering the gravity of the situation, they should have made bold steps. But these are baby steps. Maybe they still have to learn the process of being, transparent. Yeah.
Well, finally, Professor, given how turbulent and eventful 2025 was, what is your outlook for 2026?
It's difficult to make an outlook given the fluidity of the situation. But I guess the 2026 is a make or break for the Marcos administration. They really have to show that they've learned a lot from this situation, because I think the flood control scandal is a defining moment, no, in the history of the Marcos administration. People will judge him based on what the administration will do about it.
Well, we thank you for talking to us, political scientist Jean Encinas-Franco.